President Trump welcomed to China this morning with over-the-top pageantry and a lavish ceremony, starting his two-day visit to the world's second-largest economy. Now, before arriving in Beijing, the president delivered a very strong warning to North Korea. I want you to see it. Here we go.
The regime has interpreted America's past restraint as weakness. This would be a fatal miscalculation. This is a very different administration than the United States has had in the past. Today, I hope I speak not only for our countries, but for all civilized nations when I say to the North, do not underestimate us and do not try us.
Big warning there. Fox News military analyst General Keane, he joins me now on set. And how do you think he's doing right now? He's had tremendous success previously on the international side. We saw him over in the Middle East, for example, doing a great job there. Now he's over in Asia. How do you grade this? Yeah,
well, I think this is absolutely, hands down, a great trip for him. Huge success in the Middle East, another success in Europe dealing with NATO allies. But here, he's now in the center stage of the most important part of the trip. The relationship with China, this is the bilateral relationship of the 21st century, the United States and China. We are more than competitors in the direction we're moving. We're somewhere between competitors and adversaries. And he knows that clearly. And what he has to do is absolutely convince Xi that he's serious about a military option. If he cannot do that, if Xi walks away from this thing thinking that Trump is bluffing, it's just the same rhetoric that he's had from previous presidents, then Xi is not going to help him denuclearize North Korea. He'll keep the peninsula the way it is. That's the reality of what we're facing. It's a physical threat, then? I mean, not an economic threat? Because you could say, look, we'll sanction the heck out of you, China, if you don't do what we need you to do in North Korea. We sanctioned one Chinese bank. We could certainly sanction a whole lot more. We could certainly cut down on our trade with you. But I think what you're talking about, General, is physical force. The threat of physical force is a deterrent. Yeah, that is what the president has been doing for 10 months to try to convince North Korea, our allies certainly, and President Xi that I am not Obama. I'm trying as my main effort diplomatic and economic sanctions to be sure, but I am dead serious that if we don't denuclearize North Korea, then I have no alternative but to exercise a military option. And that is not in China's national interest, because that will blow up the peninsula. It'll take Xi off all of his very ambitious plans to dominate the Pacific and Asia, to compete with the United States globally. All that'll go down the drain if we go to war. Refugee population coming into China. Yeah, absolutely. Plus, the economic strain would be enormous. How realistic is that option? I mean, you heard Steve Bannon say it's not really an option when he left. He's doing it with that somber speech, the right tone, the right pace, demonstrating resolve. This is a mano thing. And I think this is Trump's strength. I know the guys around him that have been in meetings with him, they were surprised initially how comfortable he is at dealing with other heads of state, because he's done a lot of this. So he knows negotiation. He knows where Xi's coming from. So whether it's financial or whether it's diplomacy, there's an element of, some gamesmanship, right, that goes into it. I mean, some style. This is leadership on a world stage is fundamentally a test of will. And that is what is taking place in these meetings with each other. And it's also what's going to take place when he sits down to talk to Putin. And what those assessments are of each other are critical, because it has huge strategic implications years down the road, as we have seen when leaders have miscalculated about us in the past, or vice versa. Absolutely. I could talk to you all day. Yeah. Let's try it someday. We'll keep it going during the commercial anyway. But thank you, General King. Good to have you here.